Are you ready to explore some of the most haunted motels in the world? Our first stop on this haunted highway takes us straight to the heart of the Rocky Mountains, the Stanley Hotel. This is no ordinary hotel. This is where history and horror collide. Built in 1909 by Freelan Oscar Stanley, a man who made his fortune on the Stanley steamer, this sprawling building is said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity. Now, legend has it that Freelan and his wife Flora never truly left. They linger in the halls and guest rooms, their presence felt by guests who report seeing shadowy figures, hearing phantom piano music echoing from the empty music room, and feeling an eerie chill down their spines. But there's one room that stands out from the rest, a room so infamous that Stephen King himself used it as inspiration for his chilling novel, The Shining. Room 217. People have reported feeling unseen hands tugging at their clothes, lights flickering on and off, and a general sense of unease that's hard to shake off. Some say it's the spirit of a former housekeeper, Elizabeth Wilson, who died in that very room after a freak accident. Could it be her restless spirit, forever bound to the walls of the Stanley? Or are there other unseen guests, forever trapped within the hotel's grand walls? We're here to investigate the claims, to separate fact from fiction, and to see if the Stanley Hotel truly is a gateway to the other side. Get ready, because we're about to step inside room 217, armed with our EMF readers and EVP recorders, hoping to make contact with whatever entities might be lurking there. You don't want to miss this. From the breathtaking Rocky Mountains, we journey to the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas, the Crescent Hotel. This imposing Victorian-era hotel has a past shrouded in mystery and sorrow, having served as a hospital, a college, and now a beacon for those seeking a glimpse into the spectral realm. Built in 1886, the Crescent Hotel has borne witness to both life and death within its walls. In the early 20th century, it fell into the hands of a man named Norman Baker, who ran it as a cancer hospital, promising miracle cures that never materialized. Patients suffered and died under his care, their souls, some believe, forever tethered to the building. Guests and staff have reported seeing ghost-like figure of former patients roaming the halls, their faces etched with pain and despair. There are stories of disembodied voices whispering in the corridors, phantom footsteps echoing in the dead of night, and objects moving mysteriously on their own. One of the most haunted areas is said to be room 419, where a spirit named Theodora is said to reside. A former patient of Baker's, Theodora is a playful spirit, known to move objects, play pranks on guests, and make her presence known in a variety of ways. But it's her story, her pain, and her longing for peace that truly resonates with those who encounter her. Then there's Michael, a stonemason who met an untimely end during the hotel's construction. Legend has it that he fell from the roof, his body landing right outside what is now room 218. Guests have reported seeing his ghostly figure, still wearing his workman's clothes, wandering the halls and even peering into rooms. Is the Crescent Hotel truly a sanctuary for lost souls? Their energy trapped within its walls? Prepare yourselves as we set sail on a journey into the heart of maritime mystery, to a legendary ocean liner that has become a haunting enigma, the Queen Mary. This majestic ship, once a symbol of luxury and grandeur, now rests in the harbor of Long Beach, California, her steel hull concealing a treasure trove of ghostly tales and unexplained phenomena. Launched in 1934, the Queen Mary has sailed through calm waters and turbulent seas, her decks bearing witness to both joyous celebrations and unspeakable tragedies. It's these dark chapters of her past that continue to haunt her corridors, leaving an indelible mark on the ship's energy. During World War II, the Queen Mary was transformed into a troop ship, transporting thousands of soldiers to the front lines. It was during this time that tragedy struck, as she was involved in a collision with one of her escort ships, the HMS Curacoa. The impact was catastrophic, claiming the lives of hundreds of sailors. Many believe their souls remain trapped aboard the Queen Mary, their energy woven into the fabric of the ship itself. One of the most active areas is said to be the ship's engine room, where the spirit of a young fireman named John Henry is said to roam. John met a tragic end, crushed to death by a heavy door. Guests and crew members have reported seeing his ghost-like figure, still clad in his oil-stained overalls, his presence often accompanied by the smell of burning oil and the sound of heavy machinery. But John's spirit isn't alone. There's also the story of Sarah, a young woman who drowned in the ship's first-class swimming pool. She's often seen as a shadowy figure, gliding along the pool deck, her laughter echoing through the empty air. And then there's Room B340, a stateroom that has been the site of so much paranormal activity that it's now kept permanently locked. Guests who have stayed in nearby rooms have reported hearing disembodied voices, seeing ghost-like figure, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Our ghostly journey takes us across the pond to London, England, to a hotel that has borne witness to centuries of history, both grand and ghastly. The Langham Hotel. Opened in 1865, the Langham Hotel quickly became a symbol of Victorian luxury, its grand ballroom hosting lavish parties and its guest rooms welcoming some of the most famous figures of the time. But beneath the surface of opulence and grandeur, a darker side to the hotel began to emerge, a side that whispered of restless spirits and unexplained phenomena. One of the most enduring tales is that of a German prince who, driven to despair by a broken heart, took his own life within the hotel walls. His tormented spirit is said to roam the corridors, his presence often heralded by a sudden drop in temperature and a feeling of overwhelming sadness. But the prince isn't the only resident ghost. There's also the story of a doctor who, overcome with grief after the death of his wife, took his own life and the life of his young son within the hotel's confines. Guests and staff have reported seeing their ghost-like figure, often hand in hand, their eyes filled with a haunting sadness. Room 333, in particular, has become synonymous with paranormal activity. Guests have reported seeing objects move mysteriously, lights flickering on and off, and feeling an unseen presence in the room. Some have even claimed to have been touched or pushed by an unseen force. Our final destination on this spine-chilling journey takes us to the sun-drenched shores of Coronado Island, California, the Hotel del Coronado. This iconic hotel, with its red-roofed grandeur and breathtaking ocean views, has been a playground for the rich and famous for over a century. But beneath its glamorous facade lies a haunting tale of love, loss, and the restless spirit of a young woman named Kate Morgan. In 1892, Kate Morgan checked into the Hotel del Coronado, a solitary figure shrouded in mystery. She was young, beautiful, and desperately seeking solace. Days later, she was found dead on the steps leading down to the beach, a gunshot wound to her head. Her death was ruled a suicide, but questions lingered, and rumors of foul play began to circulate. Was Kate's death a tragic act of self-destruction, or was she the victim of a sinister plot? Whatever the truth may be, her spirit seems unable to find peace. Guests and staff have reported seeing her ghost-like figure dressed in black Victorian mourning attire, her face pale and drawn, her eyes filled with a haunting sadness. Room 3327, where Kate stayed during her fateful visit, has become a focal point for paranormal activity. Guests have reported feeling an eerie chill in the air, seeing objects move mysteriously, and hearing disembodied voices. Some have even claimed to have seen Kate's ghost-like figure standing at the foot of the bed, her presence both chilling and heartbreaking. But Kate's spirit isn't confined to room 3327. She's been seen wandering the hotel's hallways, her footsteps echoing through the silence, her presence often accompanied by a sudden drop in temperature and a feeling of unease. Some say she's searching for something, perhaps answers, perhaps peace, perhaps the truth behind her untimely demise. Thanks for joining me on this ghostly journey. Remember, these motels are not just stories, but places where the past seems very much alive.